In this video, we'll discover about navigating self-imposed obstacles, how to stop being a hard task master. The general perception is that people with anxiety live too far in the future. They worry about what might happen the next moment, the next day, next week, next year, but struggle to stay in the present. They fear the unknown and so spend a large part of their time searching for cues from the future. While this is true, it doesn't quite paint the entire picture. Anxiety can certainly be caused when one anticipates the possibility of facing their fears in the future. But where did these fears come from? Certainly, the origins of it might have stemmed from the person's past. Moving ahead of any past pain memories. When something unpleasant happens to you, it is only natural to do everything you can to avoid going through it again. Outwardly, this makes sense, and it is healthy to learn from our experiences, good or bad, and move on. But what happens when you can't move on? What if you become so consumed by the possibility of facing that experience, which might have become a fear or phobia in time, that you become paralyzed by it? What if in the act of moving on, you've dug yourself a grave out of which you cannot come out or live in? What do you do then? You must face your past to face your fears and make peace with them. To overcome your anxiety for today and tomorrow, it is important that you first heal your past. Worksheet 16. Assessing any past pain memories. Choose the most suitable answer. How do you react when you remember memories from your past that might indicate any prior failure, bad experience, embarrassment, and/or sorrow? The thought doesn't bother you because you've moved on? You focus on the task ahead? You flinch while thinking about the unpleasant experience. Avoid things that could bring back those memories. It does affect your mood, but you can bounce back after some time. The thought of these experiences can bring back the worst symptoms of anxiety. You are unable to focus on the task ahead and feel miserable for a long time. The thought never leaves and is always lurking around in the corner of your mind. If remembering your past is doing you more harm than good, then it's time you leave it behind and move on. Moving away from the past you need to leave behind. Worksheet 17. Letting go. Revisit the past if you can learn from your experiences, but don't engage with it. Ask yourself, what happened? Probe only on the facts. What emotions do I feel? How can I use this to empower myself and my feelings? Is there something I want to express? Take responsibility. Focus on healing and moving to a better place. How can I heal? What do I need to do to forgive, forget, disconnect, and move on? Write down your thoughts. Work on them too. Revisit this exercise whenever the feelings return and until you've moved on. Make beautiful new memories in place of them. Overcoming obsessions. Obsessions are repeated unwelcome thoughts, images, or impulses that force a person to act on them. These thoughts can soon become the reason you worry all the time, in turn, creating a breeding ground for your anxiety. Some obsessions can be harmless at first thought, such as worrying about the tidiness of your house, keeping things in their places, locking doors, switching off appliances. But because these thoughts translate to continuous doubt and worry, they can put a lot of stress on the person experiencing them. Some thoughts can take a more sinister form, such as harming someone you love, engaging in shameful sexual behaviors, and violating another person's dignity. Sadly, compulsions are undesired actions that people repeatedly find themselves doing. They have little control over what happens between thought and action, but might have to live with the guilt of their actions forever. Knowing when you need help. Plenty of people experience minor obsessions in one form or the other, and that's completely okay. Obsessions might cause no problem. But if your repeated thoughts and actions begin to infringe, violate on yours and society's belief systems, then it can become a serious problem. We suggest you seek medical help then. Obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, can cause a great deal of emotional discomfort. It can also consume a considerable amount of time of the person living with it. Worksheet 18. Recognizing any obsessions. Because obsessions mostly start with thoughts and imagery, it makes sense that you identify them through imagination. Find a comfortable, private place to sit and work through these questions. Reflect on whether you have any distressing, obsessive thought or image. Write them down, if any. Visualize them. Do they interfere with your peace? Do they cause and add to your anxiety? Are they harmful by nature? How upset do they make you feel? Would you rather not think or do what you do as a result of these thoughts? Do you want to move to a better place? Worksheet 19. Minding any obsessions, compulsions. Sit with your feelings, gradually telling yourself you can overcome these thoughts and any unfavorable things they might make you do. Imagine yourself doing the positive things you want to replace your thoughts or actions with. Repeat the thought or image, replaying it several times over, yes, in a compulsive sort of way. Continue this imagery for as long as you want or until you feel like you've done a degree of what you wanted to do. Repeat this exercise every day, mindfully replacing any negative or unfavorable obsessions with positive imagery that makes you feel good and can set you free. New beginnings. Love yourself and feel good about everything you are going to do in the future. The happier and more content you stay within yourself, the more your brain recognizes your happiness to stay away from any unpleasant obsessions or compulsions as a reward. Also, you are likely to feel less anxious too. Focus on the positives. Remember that every mistake made is a lesson well learnt. Take the positives out of the outcome and push further. Staying motivated is all about staying positive and optimistic. Draw inspiration from people who've made a difference in your life. Read plenty and draw inspiration from other achievers. Worksheet 20. Creating tomorrow. Take some time to reflect on how you want your near future to be starting tomorrow. Write them down. What obsessions or compulsions do you need or want to start working on immediately? How do you plan to approach them? Make a mental note of everything you need to face this situation. Do you have everything you need? Now imagine yourself going through these situations tomorrow. Imagine yourself delaying the urge to act on any unfavorable thoughts. How far did you go? Continue this exercise every day, delaying the urge to act until you don't feel like acting on your impulses because they either don't bother you anymore or simply don't exist. You've got this. Tomorrow is a new beginning. Make it count. Be a little better than what you were today.